Dearly beloved, in the presence of God, Father, Son and Holy Spirit, we have come together to witness the marriage.
Many weddings happen in the Church of England. Lots of people love to get married in these lovely old buildings. And if you are going to get married in a Church of England church, here are some tips that can help you on your day. Let's go and find out.
It is given that is married.
Hello and welcome to a Hoovie Wedding Photography. I'm Jonathan Lockwood, and with me today is my local vicar, Craig Ryalls. Hello.
Hi Jonathan, really good to be with you today.
Thank you, it's great to have you. Craig is the rector of St Paul's Church here in Salisbury in Wiltshire in the UK. And we are going to be chatting about getting married in a Church of England church, what perhaps some of those restrictions might be to bear in mind, to think about some of the things that you will need to prepare when you are getting married in a Church of England church. Now, Craig, I believe actually you were curate, a vicar in training at a church in Maidstone where I've actually shot 2 weddings before. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Holy Cross Bearsted. That is where I first started as a curate, which is your first position as a vicar. I was there in 2002, and actually I did loads and loads of weddings there because it was such a beautiful, picturesque church.
Yeah.
It's like kind of everybody wanted to get married there. So like every Saturday throughout the summer, I would do 2 or 3 weddings on a Saturday.
One of the things I found, certainly at Holy Cross Bearsted and at other churches, is lighting. Churches can be sometimes very dark so that the stained glass windows can really shine through with the light coming in to make it look really beautiful. Now for a photographer, that can be quite tricky because I've got to rely on natural lighting, and sometimes I have to use flash when I'm in a church, and sometimes that can distract from the whole ceremony. So I try not to use flash. I remember doing one wedding in London where the lighting they had, you know the old street lamps? They had lights in the church like that. So all of the photographs that I took came out this ghastly yellow colour. And so I had to make them black and white for all the ceremony photographs for this couple.
Kind of everybody kind of looking like they're seriously ill.
Yeah.
It's not what you want on your wedding day, that's for sure.
No.
I've kind of had a few very nervous brides and bridegrooms who look a little bit pale anyway.
Yes.
And in a way, I guess that is your huge challenge as a photographer
really is,
to
yes.
resolve that. And I realise that actually I've given you and your colleagues over the years probably a hard time because I try and say, please don't use flash photography in the service.
Yeah.
And I think there's always a balance to get right in that you don't want the actual marriage service to kind of be detracted by, kind of no offence, but the photographer getting in the way of that.
So very much. In fact, I always like to say to couples that people have called me a ninja before. I called it an assassin with a camera. That's what my photography teacher always used to teach me to do, in that you stay hidden, but you get the shots. And I certainly find when it comes to ceremonies that is so important, because nobody wants to have a photographer getting in the way. The day has got to be about the couples, and certainly from my perspective, I like to sort of hide behind pillars. Some people have even said they didn't even know I was there, which is lovely to hear. One other restriction that I have found though is that sometimes churches like to restrict the photographer and videographer to a specific spot and say, don't move. Sometimes that can even be right at the back of the church.
I mean, I'm a little bit more kind of relaxed, I think. I love your description of being a ninja wedding photographer. I guess that's the kind of photographer I would like on a wedding day. And certainly on my own wedding day, that was kind of the instructions that we gave to our photographer.
Yeah.
Was, we want you to kind of capture all these shots, but we'd love you to kind of be as unseen as possible.
Yes.
From my perspective, it's not about me, it's not about the church, it's about the couple, it's about their day. And I don't want to detract from the service itself, particularly when they're saying their vows. I think that's a really profound, solemn moment that we want to,
absolutely,
not like have that interrupted in any way. But it is, as you said, it's about the couple.
Yeah.
It's making sure the day works brilliantly for them. And part of that day is kind of capturing special moments and memories. So I think actually the key thing is about good communication.
Sure.
I want to work out what the couple want on the day, and often they have specific shots that are, photographic shots that they've discussed that they want, and I want that to happen really. I mean, I look back again on my own wedding day, and actually, we kind of been married 22 years this year. Thank you very much. And and actually our photographs, and we had a video as well on our wedding day, and they're very precious actually. We've got relatives that were at our wedding who are no longer with us, and so that's really precious memories, precious moments. And so I think kind of capturing that is really important. For me, it's not the formal pictures that I'm really bothered about. It's the things that matter to me were those kind of spontaneous moments, really. So, when the bride is walking down the aisle, I get to see the reaction on the bridegroom, I get to see the sort of smile on the bride, and that's just kind of a wonderful moment. And you want that to be captured by your wedding photographer.
Yeah. In fact, it's funny because people always ask me, do I work alone or do I have another photographer so that we can capture both the bride walking down the aisle and the groom's reaction? I always say, no, I know my job well enough that I position myself in the aisle and I will capture the bride coming down and instantly turn around and capture the reaction because those moments are absolutely beautiful. So Craig, having done numerous weddings in a Church of England context, are there any tips that you can give our couples?
The first thing I think is really good is that you have an opportunity to build up a relationship with your vicar. You can have several meetings, and so by the time you get to the day, hopefully you've got a bit of a rapport. This is not a complete stranger to you. The biggest challenge I think on the wedding day is dealing with nerves.
Yes.
The nerves that the kind of bride or bridegroom kind of has. And again, I often say to couples, like, my kind of job is to kind of look after you. I'll take care of everything. You don't need to worry about anything at all. All you have to do is enjoy the day. We've done all the work. This is your moment. I guess every vicar's going to have their different approach and style. I'm pretty relaxed in terms of how we do church, and sometimes we'll use kind of humour just appropriately, but just to sort of lighten that mood. And one of the key moments, I think, is the rehearsal, actually. That rehearsal is a brilliant opportunity because you just get to go over what we're going to do. You get to practice your lines, as it were. You don't have to learn them. You just repeat them. And we go over that and just make everybody relax, really. And that's such a helpful thing. And the whole thing about the rehearsal, actually, it's not that you get every last step or action right. It really simply is that you deal with any nerves that you have.
And I think because you've got so many people who want the day to go well, people like yourself and myself, we're actually, as you say, there to help them feel relaxed, to help them get through things.
So the other thing I would say is really again, just chat with your vicar and work out, because every church has slightly different ways of kind of doing things. So ask about confetti, because it kind of sounds like a really sort of thing you don't necessarily think about. But even here, we have rules about confetti. So we kind of say, please don't throw confetti in the church building, but in the porchway, that's okay. But we ask for it to be biodegradable. So we want to do our bit for the environment. Little things like that. There will be usually unique to each place, little kind of bits of kind of almost like household rules that particular church has. So find out what they are, and don't ever think that any question is kind of too small or too silly to ask. Just ask all of your questions. We prefer that. It's so helpful just to kind of know, because we all want the same thing really, which is for your wedding day to be the best day it could possibly be. It ought to be one of the best, if not the best day of your life. I've got one other piece of advice which is slightly kind of weird in a way, because it's probably not the first thing on your list that you would think about. One of the unique things about getting married in the Church of England is that actually you can get quite a lot of extra things, as it were, for what you pay for, not just the day itself. And that is kind of marriage preparation. Now, you might be kind of living with your partner, you might have been together for some years. It varies, doesn't it, from relationship to relationship. But actually, your local vicar should be able to offer, as part of you getting married in a Church of England church, some wedding preparation, and actually that can be stuff about relationship advice, how to deal with the in-laws, how to deal with things like finances, how to deal with things like conflict, all those kind of things. And I know that the main focus of this is the wedding day, but in the back of my mind, when I'm kind of, taking a wedding service, I look at this couple. What I want for them is that they would have a long and happy married life together. So one of the marriage vows that couples make, in the Church of England is until death us do part. Death, that's like huge, isn't it? And so, it is that lifelong commitment, and it's profound and joyful and wonderful, and it's just worth investing in. So I would say, chat with your local vicar, see what the church does. There are some brilliant marriage preparation courses out there. We run them here at St. Paul's, and every couple that has been through that has benefited hugely from it. And actually it's been one of the things that they've been most surprised and actually pleased about.
Well, I can agree with that. My wife and I, we did a marriage prep course, and it was absolutely invaluable. A wedding day is not the culmination of a relationship, it's the very start in some respects. And we both want couples to have not just good weddings, but good marriages.
And my final piece of advice, which I kind of say to every couple on their wedding day, is when the day comes, you've just simply got to enjoy it.
Just enjoy it.
Just enjoy it.
We do. Absolutely.
Like, sometimes things go wrong.
And actually it's funny because in a previous video, I showed a clip of our wedding day where we were doing a song and the worship leader forgot the final verse. But it was great because actually, even though it was a mistake, actually it really broke the ice with our wedding. And people were able to just be a bit more free and relax a little bit because of it. And I think if you can have that attitude of no matter what happens, laugh it off, just have a bit of fun with it and enjoy the day together, I think you will do so well on your wedding day.
My job is to make sure that everything happens smoothly. In my experience, it always has. It does. We know what we're doing. I'm here to look after the couple getting married. It should be the most exciting, joyful, and as much as it possibly can be, stress-free day of your life. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the celebration. Enjoy each other. Enjoy being with your family and friends. That's kind of the best bit of advice I could give anyone about their marriage day.
Craig, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. And want to wish you the best if you are getting married in a Church of England church. And if you would like to find out more about the tips that I can give you, please go and check out my other videos in the description or subscribe to this channel where I will be giving a whole load more tips from other suppliers in the wedding industry to help you make the most of your wedding day. So we'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.